Good evening, everyone. Welcome to Rotor Talk Live, Season 4, Episode 52. And if you notice the ticker below, it says pre-recorded because I have pre-recorded this broadcast for you for airing this evening. Ron and Marcus have the evening off. It's holiday week, and I thought I would like to take a look at 2021 in terms of this was the year of mini drones. So we're going to take a look at several of the mini drones. Now, this is not an exhaustive list, but these were the ones that garnered the most attention during the year. So without further ado, we're going to jump into this here. Now, I also, just a couple of items of housekeeping here. Those of you that won mugs, they are en route to you. They are drop shipped from the manufacturer. I got about half of them ordered, and the other half will get ordered when I get paid this week. Stickers will come separately. I will mail them in an envelope to you. I do have all this addressed. We're going to get them addressed and sent out in the mail. So be patient, but they will get out there shortly. And we're going to start off with a live episode next week for 2022. We're going to kick the season off. And don't forget the name change for the channel. Okay, it's going to be Bill the RC Reviewer, because we're going to be including not only drones, we're also going to be including things like radio controlled cars, trucks, boats, and airplanes, and pretty much anything else that falls under that category. So without further ado, let's jump into it. Now, the first thing that I wanted to look at was, one of the things I can say, the Fimi X8 Mini came with a lot of potential. All right. It really garnered a lot of attention early on that we had a competitor to DJI. Okay. I know for me, I was excited because I feel I had some success with the Fimi X8 SE 2020, even though my issues with communication issues and having it return home. I really didn't have a lot of the issues that a lot of other people had with the Fimi X8 SE 2020. So you know what? We'll give it a shot here. All right. Now, one of the things I have to say, by the time I got mine, issues became very prevalent, and there was a whole range of issues regarding the Fimi X8 Mini. Marcus had 5 of them. All right. I felt fortunate in that, and let's just take a brief look. I'm going to run my video for you of my first flight with the Fimi X8 Mini, and we'll just take a look and kind of see how it goes here. So let me indulge you guys for a second here so we can watch that. See, where I fly requires a lot of, because I want to stay off of the road, and it's hard. It's not easy. It's not a DJI drone. It was not going where I wanted it to go. So I had a little bit of issue with that. And it got to be a little on the frustrating side. You can actually hear it flying overhead where I was. Now you take a look, the color and actually the horizon appears pretty decent in here. It doesn't appear very off on this, which I was really pleased with.
We're going to try a return to home here. See how that works.
You can tell this was still when I had yeah, this was still, yeah.
So far, so good.
This is the best purchase I've had in the last year.
Okay.
Is my best kept.
Got the ad coming in here. Well, one of the things that I wanted to say about this. Now, first of all, right now, I want to let you guys know, if you're interested in this, it is available right now at B&H at a low price of $299. So I don't know how long this will last. I found this out here today. This was as of about 11:45 Eastern time this morning. So if you guys are interested in it, jump on it, because I don't think it's going to last very long. Now, I just wanted to let you know, for me, my big issue with it was the direction I was flying this in. Okay. I had to constantly make adjustments to it when, with other drones that you don't have to do that, namely like DJI. Yeah, I had to constantly make those adjustments with the Fimi X8 Mini, and it was, it was a battle. And, when I go up to fly a drone, I want to be able to record something or take some pictures without having a battle to fly exactly where I want it. I want to point it and stick in the direction, and I want it to go in that direction. And I did try calibrating calibrating the controller, and that really didn't do what it should have done. Okay, just be honest with you guys. And I think, as far as this drone is concerned, our good friend Brian Singleton said it best. If you want to get it, you have a 50-50 chance of getting a good drone. And he's right. So if you want to have a 99% chance of getting a good drone, get a DJI Mini instead. All right. And Brian, thank you for that quote. And I hope you don't mind me sharing that, but it's very true. It is very true. So, beware. I mean, I'm not going to say not get the Fimi X8 Mini. Some people have been like me. They've been lucky to get a good one. I'm thinking at this point in time, they probably have a lot of the bugs worked out of it, out of the hardware issues that came with it. So you may want to give it a shot. Just be forewarned that a lot of people had a lot of issues with this, and it's buyer beware kind of a thing. So just want to let you guys know that. Now, one of the other ones, and another thing that I want to finish up on with the Fimi X8 Mini too, and this is going to be here for a couple of these drones. They were rushed into production, and as Gorilla Man put, we weren't the beta testers, we were the alpha testers, and he was so right. They were anxious to get this out there to beat their competitors, and they did. Fimi did get it out there to beat their competitors, but conversely speaking, because they rushed this out there, we had to end up being and I agree with Gorilla Man, it was not beta testers, we were alpha testers. There were that you could tell that this was not tested. But by the time I got mine, a lot of things have been worked out with it, and I was pretty pleased with it, except the calibration of the controller. So, but that's where I stood on the Fimi X8 Mini. Now, this one, Hubsan Zino Mini Pro. Now, we all remember the disaster, the literal disaster that Hubsan came up with when they had their live stream debut. Now, the only good thing that we saw during that live stream review was, it did have a long runtime. Okay. They totally, I mean, Hubsan does not have the kind of public relations department that DJI has. Let's just call it like it is. All right. They were not used to doing this. You could tell, it was obvious. It was a disaster. And then when the battery ran out, nobody was really thinking about controlling the drone. And of course, the sensor lost, awareness of where it was. and it went over the side. It kind of crashed a little bit, and you kind of heard that, and that's just not good. That's just not very good. And you probably know. And one of the things that I will say is, let's talk about price before I talk about the next thing here. Okay. Now, one of the things with this drone was the pricing on it. Okay. And $459 currently. It's on our good friends from Banggood has it for $459. That's a lot of money, guys. That is a lot of money for this drone. And I'm gonna say this, it's not worth it, all right? Because I will also go back and say, now also too, I want to show you something here. Okay, we covered the subject very well. You can take a look here. Now, the drone that I would highly recommend versus the Zino Mini Pro is the Zino Mini SE. All right. And, I did do a video on it. And Marcus has even stated, that should have been the drone that Hubsan came out with. And we all know that the price is considerably less on the Hubsan Zino Mini SE. So if you're looking at Hubsan and want to get a drone like that, I would highly recommend the Hubsan Zino Mini SE versus the Pro. The Pro has just been plagued with issues. They've gotten them corrected. And again, it's the same type of thing as with Fimi. Now, Fimi had where, they're trying to have us be the beta alpha testers. And it's the same thing here as Gorilla Man said about the Fimi. We were the beta testers for Hubsan, for the Hubsan Zino Mini Pro. And, that's just not, that doesn't cut it, guys. And a lot of people forked out their $459 for several months, and that's another thing. Really, you're kind of kickstarting and providing funding for Hubsan to do this, and you shouldn't have to do that. And I think, if you want to pre-order a drone, that 25% deposit on things like something like that, not having to pay for the whole thing in advance. So, but you can see we covered this topic in depth. There was absolutely, we were very optimistic. Now, you'll look at some of the titles. I did an event recap, the Zino Mini Pro, and it was, as you are aware, it was a disaster. Go back and take a look at that on Hubsan's YouTube channel. It was a unmitigated disaster. And Hubsan had a great idea here. Okay, with the obstacle avoidance under 250 grams, but they were trying to do too much with this drone. Okay, and that when they got the Mini SE out, it worked, and it worked well. And one of the things that I think contributed to that was this wasn't loaded down with features. The other thing with the Hubsan Zino Mini Pro was, they had that plastic guard on the bottom because it got hot down there, because again, it was doing there was a lot of processing that was being done in the drone. And because of that, it would overheat, and it was very hot to the touch. Now, again, if you're looking at that, now I know Marcus has also said, he's gotten, as far as the camera quality is concerned from the Hubsan Zino Mini SE, it's okay. All right. I think he said his Zino 2 had a better camera quality than the Zino Mini SE. But if you're looking for a small drone, it would fit. But again, we're gonna talk about another drone coming up here that really kind of fits that bill very well here. Now let's go ahead and we're going to go ahead and stop sharing here. All right. DJI Mini SE. This was a surprise because everybody had said that they're not coming out with a Mini SE. The DJI is not going to be doing that this year. Even DJI came out with it. Well, lo and behold, guess what? It came out on Amazon. It came out on it was out on a number, and it's out on DJI's website. And I was very excited about this. And you can probably see, and we're gonna take a look at the first video I did on this. One of the things that I was very excited about with this drone was the price. And I can say, and if you go back and watch my unboxing video, DJI did not shortchange you. I mean, this was packed like other DJI drones. You got everything you needed to here. Let's watch it. Let's watch a minute or two of this video.
Okay, looks like we're ready for the first flight of the DJI Mini SE. Let's get this shown.
Takeoff. The home point has been updated. Please check it on the map.
All right. Get her up here and see what we got. First of all, it's very stable. Looking pretty good here. Get up about her feet. There, 100 feet. Let's take it out. See what we get here. It's nice because I found a shady spot, so. Looking pretty good here. Let's see, 800, 700. We're going to go ahead and turn it around. Let's take a look and see how controls work here. Just doing this slowly. Head back this way here. Let's see what we got. I am recording in 2.7. Okay, here, folks.
Okay, you can see here, and I want to call your attention to a lot of things right away here. Comparing this to like the Fimi Mini that I had. The colors look really true on here. The controls on here were extremely responsive. I mean, right out of the box. And see, that's the thing with DJI drones. Everybody says I'm a DJI fanboy. I'm a drone fanboy. Okay. And one of the things, when you get a DJI drone, and one of my knocks was a lot of people said, oh, you only fly DJI drones. Well, I've flown a lot more than DJI drones here. And one of the things I can say about DJI drones, probably with maybe just a firmware update, and besides charging your batteries, it's ready to go out of the box. Not so with, the Fimis and the Hubsans. That's not been the case. And that's not been the case for me with this too. But I want, some of the things I just want you to see a little bit here on this. So, you kind of got a flavor for this. Now, I did do a high altitude test and people were like, oh, 400 feet. It's not high altitude. Well, you know what? I follow the FAA rules here, guys. And, 400 feet is the limit. So, and the rules. So, but I did do a high altitude test with this. And, a lot of times, and one of the things I'm going to say, when you fly at high altitude, you got to be very, very aware of where you're at. If you're at probably between 100 or 200 feet, or maybe 250 feet, you can still recognize landmarks. But when you get up to about 300 feet, 400 feet, you're not going to see your landmarks down there because your gimbal is going to be pointed more upwards than downwards. And a great way to solve that problem is, your rule of thirds, have a third of your sky and then, a third the middle and a third the bottom, and adjust your gimbal angle accordingly. That's one way to do that. But you got to be aware of where you're flying, especially when you get up to a higher altitude, because you don't recognize landmarks unless you're completely facing your gimbal down. So yeah, just wanted to kind of go over that there. And then the last one that we're going to take a look at here is, and this is something we all know, the Autel Evo Nano. Now, everybody's like, oh, you've been ragging on Autel. You've been ragging on Autel. Want to bring a reminder to everybody, okay? My first drone was an Autel X-Star Premium, all right? I love that drone. That's how I got hooked on drones. Autel makes great hardware. They took exceptional care of me and customer support with battery issues that I had with it. My big thing with them at the time, and it probably still is a pain point for them, has been their software and firmware updates. They were very non-existent for the X-Star Premium, and the last one that it had was a beta firmware update. Okay, so just want to kind of set things square with this, guys, here. Okay, straight off the top. Okay, I love Autel. All right, I've been waiting for them, to make a drone like this. This Autel Evo Nano, and the Nano Plus. I think these are very much of a drone that is going to give DJI a great run for their money. However, with all that being said, and I want to share my screen here because I think this is important here. All right. We have gotten a number of dates from Autel about the Autel Evo Nano and Nano, Plus. And a lot of people have pre-ordered them from DroneWorks and B&H Photo, Adorama, you name it. And evidently, I think they refunded money, and then they asked people to again, I mean, there's just been a lot go on. Originally, it was supposed to be available December the 1st. Well, that's come and gone now. Now, I'm going to show you something from Autel's website, all right, or Facebook page, all right. And and I want you to pay attention to the comment that I wrote here. Let's go ahead and share that. Okay. Now the first batch of light and nano drones is finally here. Look for them at retailers including Adorama, B&H, DroneWorks, and others. We promise these drones are worth the wait. Okay. Now, I left a comment underneath here, and I want you guys to see this comment, okay? One of the things that they did not include here that they took out of their title, I put, how long is just a few QC tests away from going out into the wild? They had that up there as a part of their quote, okay? Up here. They had it after that sentence. But as you can see right here, it's been edited. They don't have that quote in there. And you can tell, some people were, are being facetious down here, but it's called marketing strategy. So you can stay on the hook waiting for the orange carrot. They haven't used it very soon yet. 1 year, 18 months tops. There's a lot of people out there that are very skeptical of Autel. And I've said this before on the channel, and I want to say it again. Here, and let's go briefly. I do want to go out and take a look, and you can see on Adorama, it's still considered a pre-order. Okay. They don't have them in yet. All right. So I just want to clear this up. But one of the things that I wanted to go over here was, in this, and like I said, guys, this is a drone. I want Autel to succeed. I want them to do well. All right. Now, remember, up until this point, and I said this on a previous episode with Ron and Marcus on it. Autel had one drone out at a time. Okay. Now, you'll say the Evo 2 had multiple iterations. It was the same. The only thing that was different between the different models of the Evo 2 was the camera. All right. That was the only thing that was different. The body of the drone, the inner workings of the drone, the motors, battery, everything was the same, guys. Okay. So really, in essence, it's easy to manufacture something like that. All right. And it was the same for, they only had an Evo 1. There was no different flavors of that. And, but they're coming out now with a Evo Lite and an Evo Nano. They're coming out with more than one model. Plus, they're still making the Evo 2, as far as I know. Now, we talked about this, and I want to kind of level set some things straight here. A lot of people are saying, supply chain issues, all that kind of stuff. No, I don't think it's a supply chain issue, because DJI had no problem getting their Mavic 3 in the stores and available when it was released. All right. This is not a supply issue, guys. This is a manufacturing issue. From the standpoint, it's difficult for them to manufacture 3 different drones. Okay. There's an Evo, Evo 2, Evo Lite, and Evo Nano. All right. And those are 3 different drones. All right. And they don't have the production capabilities of a DJI. They're just not, they're just not there. Remember the last time there was an in-person CES, for them to get a booth there, they got money at the last minute from mainland China to be able to get their booth there. Now, this is not a knock on them, guys. I want to be really clear about this, because I know I see in the comments, you just do nothing but bash on Autel. No, I want Autel to succeed, because when Autel succeeds, that means better drones for us all the way around. Better DJI drones, better Hubsan drones, hopefully, better Fimi drones, hopefully, better drones all the way around. It's important, guys, that they succeed. And I want them to. I want them to succeed very much. Will I be getting one of these? Probably. I'm going to play it like Ron is going to play it. I want to see some good reviews on it. Now, there are some reviews that have come out already. All right. Now, there and finally some English speaking reviews have come out on it already, but these are early on. I'm going to wait. I'm going to kind of pull back and wait and see, because, there's kind of a feeding frenzy as far as ordering is concerned. I also think it's a little on the high side as far as pricing is concerned. You can see the Evo Nano Standard was $649. All right, I think that's a little pricey. I think something like both of these drones, I think the Evo Standard should have been $599, and I think the Evo Plus probably should have been like maybe $699 or $749, something like that, something along those lines, for the equipment that it has on it. But again, let's wait and see. Hopefully, Autel, like I said, I want Autel to succeed. I want them to get this drone out there. I want it to get in the hands of some great people to review. Definitely, one review I'm looking forward to seeing is when Original Dobo gets a chance to do it, because he's not going to pull any punches. All right. I know Marcus has one on order. I'll look forward to his review. And then that's how I'm going to be basing on my purchasing decision. It's going to be on whether or not, how these guys look at the drone, the video from it, the capabilities, how, the new app, how all that integrates, how all of it works. That's to be decided. That's kind of stay tuned. So, I wanted to kind of focus that on, 2021, because, it wasn't the year we expected drone wise. I think we expected some more. We didn't get them. Hold on to your hats for 2022, because, we talked a little bit last week. Inspire 3 is probably going to be coming. And our good friend said, be prepared for a huge sticker shock. And again, That's 100% commercial, guys. That's not, if you're a hobbyist and can afford it, maybe you should be funding Build a Drone Reviewer and his equipment needs. Okay. I'm just teasing here, but seriously, that's strictly a professional commercial type drone, with the Inspire 3. The Mini 3 is going to be coming, of that. I have absolutely no doubt. And one of the things I can tell you, these mini drones that are coming out now, let's say, Hubsan gets their act together, and that, and get some more firmware updates. And, some of these drones are okay. All right. Wait till DJI comes out with a Mini 3. All right. It's going to exceed what these other ones are going to do. So we got a lot to look forward to in 2022. Plus, I've just tipped the iceberg with the Mavic 3 and testing it. I got a video coming up on, I did some low light flying around sunset, took some pictures, took some video. Going to get a video out on that shortly. Got lots more to test on that. I'm itching to get hyperlapse tested on that, because absolutely love that on the Mavic 2 Pro and the Mavic 3. I'm going to get that out there and get that done as well, because it's one of my favorite features. I absolutely love it. So stay tuned for that, and stay tuned for, I think one of the things, we kind of talked about it last week, but I kind of wanted to spend a couple of minutes here before we wrap things up. And I know this is going to be a shorter show than usual, but I wanted to do a pre-recorded show here and just go over the mini drones. All right. But one of the things, why we're changing the name of the channel and everything. All right. Radio, you look at some other channels out there. Okay. I know Kelly Shorts has done radio control cars and other things. Captain Drone Steve, he's done everything radio control, cars, boats. He's even done a plane. I just saw a review he did on a plane. And there are quite a few others out there that do the same thing. And one of the reasons that I want to go ahead and do that too is there's what I call the between time. All right. And I don't want to have to manufacture a video per se. I don't want to have to, have to come up with something just to get a video out there. This way, because I have a Chevy Impala lowrider we're going to be taking a look at. I have a Ford F450, yes, radio controlled truck. I bought a trailer, and I'm going to be hauling the Chevy Impala lowrider and the trailer. We got all those to look forward to. So stick around for that. That's going to be a lot of fun. And that Chevy Impala lowrider, okay, it's one of the best radio control cars I've ever seen, and you're going to be amazed at what it can do. All right, and this is one of the things I was interested in them as a kid. Today they're so much better. They're well built. The ones that I got, they're not like Tyco. Okay, 2 or 3 times and it would bust and you'd be done with it. All right, not like that at all. These things work. They're durable. They're long lasting. They're going to be a lot of fun. So I'm looking forward to having a lot of fun with that. And of course, flying too. Going to be putting some planes up there. And I also bought let me show you guys this. Get it out here real quick. A run cam. Okay. And this is going to shoot in 4K. I think you guys know how this works. I can attach some Velcro on this. I can put it on the cars, on the planes. And also boats are coming up too. There's several World War II ships that I'm interested in that have currently been on back order, and I have access to large bodies of water, also a pool. So we're going to have some fun with that, and also you're going to get some nice views with this camera in here, and especially with. And I want to show you this as well too. Found a guy who built 3D printed these mounts for the run cam. Take a look at this, okay? And this will fit inside the cockpit of some of those planes. So we're going to have a lot of fun with that. And the name change is going to happen pretty much right around the first of the year. So be looking forward to that. But know that primarily, we're going to handle, number one is always going to be drones on this channel, all right? The RC cars, RC planes, boats, okay? They're going to be part of the channel, but they're secondary to drones, okay? If there's a lot of drone news that comes out, or new features come on a Mavic 3, or a new drone comes out that I'm going to get, that's going to take precedence. So I want to let you guys know that as well. Also, I want to thank all of those who entered a chance to win a mug and stickers. I'll be announcing winners probably the first broadcast of 2022. But I want to thank everybody that entered, and I would say everybody that entered at least got a sticker, and several of you who got some mugs as well too. I sent them out to you. So I hope you enjoy them. And these are all Build the RC reviewers. Now, I'm also going to be having t-shirts, and I see I'm wearing my old style polo shirt. I have a new style polo shirt with a new logo on it. These will be available, and I'm gonna put it out there, and I'm gonna get some pricing on it. See, what I do is I drop ship them from the manufacturer to you. That way, with the mugs, I've done that, and I think that's worked pretty well. With the shirts and t-shirts, I may order them and then send them out to you guys. And if there's an interest, please let me know. The email address is not going to change. I'm still kind of toying around with that for right now, because a lot of people have my email address at buildadronereviewer@gmail.com. And I kind of think we're going to stick with that. I may add buildthercreviewer@gmail.com, but everything is still going to be under Build a Drone Reviewer as far as Gmail and Google is concerned. I'm only changing the name of the channel. It's not going to be, the email address isn't going to change. So, because I really don't want to confuse people with this change, because if they still want to reach me, we'll always be able to reach me at buildadronereviewer@gmail.com. So that's it for this week. This is a shorter broadcast than normal. I understand that, but I wanted to, still kind of in vacation mode, even though I'm working this week. I'm still kind of in vacation mode, but I want to thank you all for tuning in tonight. I hope you enjoyed this. And as always, remember, guys, it's a great day to fly. Take care and have a great